tiling. So let me go back to iPhoto and find a tiling. Well, there's pretty good tiling on this page. This is it's pretty fancy tiling. Let me see if I can analyze this. Command-Shift-4, Control, take the picture, go back to Sketchpad, paste it in here. Because of the over-under, over here and under here, this is not going to have reflection symmetry. Without that over-under, it would have that reflection bit, but it's not going to. It's only going to have rotations. You can see centers of fourfold rotations around these four-pointed stars. It looks like there'd be centers of six-fold rotation around these six-pointed stars, but we'll see there are not actually. Certainly translations, so we can translate from gold star to gold star, and that will, the design will land on itself and continue the pattern. It's not perfect because, again, my camera angle wasn't perfect, and the design itself is probably not really perfect. Also, there's some black and gold going on here. We have to decide whether to ignore that. I think I'm going to ignore the fact that some stars are black and some are gold. So, hide the vector. Oh, there's translations going this way too, but you'd have to get all the way up to here to get that to line up. But the fact that there are translations in two directions is what makes this a wallpaper pattern. See, there's another translation going that direction. I should say in at least two directions. It's in two dimensions. So we've got the obligatory translations. I can show the reflection line just to confirm that it doesn't have one, because it messes up the over-under business. And same with glide reflection, I'll skip that. The rotation center, so here's the center of rotation. And I think that's going to be a 90-degree rotation, so I can show that. And yeah, you can see that kind of lines up. And every 90 degrees, it's going to kind of line up. It's 180, 270, and back to 360. There are other rotation centers as well. This is the one that I thought might be a 60-degree rotation or 6-fold rotation, but watch what happens if I rotate 60 degrees. The star lines up, but nothing else does. Everything else is kind of messed up. So this doesn't line up until I've actually rotated around 180 degrees. So that's the center of a 180-degree rotation. And there's some other centers of 180-degree rotation as well. There's one up here. And here's another center of fourfold rotation. So playing around with that some more, you discover those centers and then just go ahead and put points there and label them. So this is a 2. Not an at, a 2. This is a 4. This is a 2, and this is a 4. So label those. 4, 2, and 4. And describe this. So this design has two types of fourfold rotation centers and two twofold rotation centers. does not have reflection symmetry. And so for the wallpaper patterns, you don't have to name the symmetry group, you just need to describe it. Describe the centers of rotation and whether it does or does not have reflection or glide reflection symmetry. So that's a good enough description for that. This one was also taken at the Alcazar. In Sevilla. Alright, so when you've finished all 8, what you can do is copy them, Command-Shift-4 again, and Control. Just take this part, you don't need the buttons, but you can copy that and paste it into your iBook. So you'll have 8 pages in your iBook that show your 8 designs along with your analysis. So again, just to quickly review the 4 that I did a cyclic design, I named it, said where I took it. I did a dihedral design, I drew in the 6 lines and named it, said where I took it. Freeze pattern, I named it, said where I took it, and I showed the reflection line. If it had had some vertical reflection lines, I would show those too, and I would also show the centers of rotation, but this doesn't have any of them. And a tiling. I showed the rotation centers. If it had had reflection lines, I would draw those in and describe those as well. Alright, have fun with this. You'll have 2 days in class to work on this, so take your time, really study your designs, investigate them, make sure that you have it right, and have fun.